Hi, this is James at SBL Truck Driving Academy. I'm here with a very good friend of mine, Mr. Joe Beamham. Joe is the principal geologist and the owner of Highlands Environmental Solutions. Joe and I have quite a long history together working on different kind of projects that involve environmental concerns. Small projects to large projects, and Joe is in the area today and was kind enough to stop by here, and we wanted to talk to you guys about things that you can do if you're out on the road and you have a fuel spill or you have an accident and there's a spill. This is what Mr. Beamham and his company does. They go and clean this stuff and remediate the sites and things like that. So Joe, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So what can you share with the folks that watch this that they could do that would be helpful, you know, both right there immediately and long term if they have a spill?
Certainly. Well, first a little bit about us. You know, Highlands Environmental we're a full-service environmental company, provide a wide range of services, but one core area is working with the trucking industry, helping with compliance, with permitting, as well as doing a lot of spill response. And the first thing I'd like to say is, as a driver, you're going to be the first company representative at the scene if you have an accident, if you have a fuel leak, or heaven forbid you have a rollover. So you're there. You need to participate, or at least attempt to participate with the emergency services to let them know, you know, your company policies, who they need to call. If you have a response company already on retainer, they need to call them, or at least call your safety director or your terminal manager. Let them know what's going on so they can mobilize people and equipment for the cleanup. Don't just stand back and let them handle everything. Try to participate and be a good representative of the company. The second thing is, know what you're hauling, whether it's dry goods or you're hauling some type of hazardous chemical. Know what you're hauling. Know just the basics about it. Is it something that's extremely hazardous that if you have an incident, evacuations are needed, or is it something that's only mildly hazardous where you've got some time? But in any event, if you have an incident, you're either going down the road or in a parking lot, the main thing is to remember your safety comes first. And after that, the safety of others around you. So if you run over something in the road and you puncture a fuel tank and you're leaking diesel fuel, be careful of where you stop. Please don't stop on top of a storm drain. That's not what they're there for. They're there for water, not for fuel. And it makes things much worse if that happens. If you have a hard hat or a bucket, put it under the tank. Try to stop the leak if it's safe to do so. If there's a stick laying there that you can put in the hole, try to plug it. That's good, because if you can capture 1 gallon of fuel, then you're eliminating us having to excavate 1 ton of soil. And so you're saving costs right off the bat. If you can close a transfer valve, do that, but only if it's safe to do so. If traffic conditions are such, weather conditions are such, that's good. If you're driving a sleeper cab, take the mattress out, put it under the fuel leak. It's an absorbent, it will capture that, and it's much cheaper to replace that mattress than to start a big environmental cleanup. You know, don't be afraid to report that you've had a problem or somebody's backed into you and caused an issue. Make sure your terminal managers know about it. Make sure your safety director knows about it. Because the longer it goes on and it's not recognized, the more expensive that cleanup can become. Because this material, once it gets into the soil, doesn't just stop. It will continue to migrate and kill grass. If it gets in the water, it may kill fish. And you know, just make sure somebody knows that a problem has occurred.
Great advice, very good advice, and you're exactly right. The longer something like this goes on, the more expensive it is.
Yes.
The more impact you have on your company, on yourself, and others, and the bigger the check becomes at the end of it.
And going back to knowing what you're hauling, you may not be hauling a DOT placarded hazardous material, okay? But if it's in an incident, that material may become an EPA hazardous waste. One example of that are vape products. The vape gels, the vape pens that have lithium batteries, if they can't be sold as a commodity, if they are now damaged by either water or fire or scattered on the side of the road, that's a listed hazardous waste. And anything that a hazardous waste touches becomes a hazardous waste. So know what you're hauling. That way you can be a good company representative and tell the record company, okay, if you're going to unload this trailer, let's segregate this material separately. And that saves on the disposal cost rather than having to go out and dispose of 3 containers of hazardous waste. Maybe you're only disposing of 2 or 3 boxes of hazardous waste. It's a tremendous cost savings.
Again, good advice. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. You're always welcome here. You know that. Joe and I've been friends for a long time. We hope you find this informative and educational. I hope you don't find yourself in a position where you're trying to deal with some sort of spill or contamination, but if you do, think back on this and try to respond and react in the correct and safest way. You guys have a great day. We'll see you soon.